we have the daily price chart for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. So as we can see here, the stock continues to move forward on this very strong upward trajectory. This is a very strong price movement here, and we are now seeing prices that have moved above the 3230 level. This is a very impressive move higher. And the question here is whether or not the stock will be able to maintain this type of momentum going forward. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is looking at some important support and resistance price levels so that we can determine which course of action here and which trading strategy is likely best to implement for this stock going forward. So currently, as I said, we have moved above this 3230 level. This is a very strong price movement, and it's an incredible reversal from what we were seeing previously. If you remember, just a short time ago, the stock was facing very important resistance zones, which came in at 29.83. This essentially would have been the price high from July 18, as the stock posted near-term highs and then fell quite sharply to more near-term lows coming in at 21.23. This would have occurred during the August 5 trading session. So as we can see here, the bounce came during very key, price level tests that did suggest that the ultimate buy zone coming in at the low 2120s was the ultimate decision, was ultimately the best decision for this stock. As we can see here, the stock did manage to bounce right off of its 200-day exponential moving average. That's this rising blue line here. We did see a bit of a movement below this area, but we really didn't see much of a close below this area. So this was really the signal that share prices were going to be able to bounce here. And then we have the fact that, this is a very substantial green candle coming in right at this technical zone. So this was a very strong bounce here. And then as we can see, it was followed by a gap higher in the following trading session. So this was a key reversal point here going forward. And the 2123 now does mark the ultimate level to the downside. That would be important to watch for anybody that's looking to trade this stock from a longer term perspective. Essentially, you could continue to buy this stock right into that 2120 level, and you could expect to see strong support trends or reversals start to occur if we were to approach that price. So as currently as things stand, the stock is becoming more difficult to trade given the fact that we have seen these upward price movements. Likely, there are many people that are trying to chase this stock at this point, and that's generally not the best idea. Momentum trading strategies can work and they can be implemented. However, those trades need to be structured very carefully because in many cases you need to have extremely tight stop losses and very active trade management. So if you're not really looking to day trade this and manage the position actively on a daily basis, that is really not the type of trading strategy that you want to be implementing. So since this stock has now already reached these highs, there is a bit of a danger here as far as chasing the stock and buying at these current levels. I would not recommend buying at these current levels. Instead, I would wait for a pullback at least into this 29.85 area. I would probably wait for a dip back below the $30 mark. It's possible that we will not be seeing this relatively soon because there is a huge amount of momentum that is being focused on the top side here. And it is important to remember that the bounces here and the downside price movements have been met with very forceful buying activity. So overall, this is also not a stock that you want to be selling. I think that at this point, there is a certain amount of patience that needs to be exercised, given the fact that the stock itself has moved so far above its exponential moving average cluster. As we can see here, that's really not a normal price movement. In most cases where you do start to see share prices kind of deviate away from these exponential moving averages, these four colorful lines here, you do see retracements back toward the moving average cluster, sort of a reversion to the mean, a reversion back to the moving averages. And that is important. It's always the most likely outcome. The most likely outcome for any stock is that we're most likely to revert back toward the longer term moving averages. Given the fact that this is a daily chart, this is the type of activity and expectation that traders really should be having. We are currently moving into overbought readings on the relative strength index. And again, this is the daily charts. This is an important indicator reading. Although at the same time, we are still seeing a rising condition within the RSI, which does suggest that positive momentum is still the underlying factor that dominates this stock. So I don't expect to see major reversals from here. I don't mean to suggest that. I do not think that we're going to see major movements here to the downside, but I do think that we're going to need to see the stock move back toward these exponential moving averages. So first, this would be the 20-day exponential moving average that we would be watching to the downside. As of right now, this comes in right around 2850, but as we can see, there is a very strong upward slope here, which does suggest that the stock will need to move. Will not need to move as far in the downward direction in order to meet back at this moving average cluster and at this 20-day exponential moving average. So currently, we're at 2850. The level that I pointed to previously came in back at this 2985 level roughly. So we will be seeing this in the 20-day moving average relatively soon. So as long as share prices continue to trade above the averages like this, these averages will continue to move higher, and this then will suggest that price level support that's formed on the basis of these exponential moving averages will most likely occur at higher and higher levels. So as things stand here, I would be waiting for this 20-day exponential moving average to rise back into this 2985 area. And then if we do see a brief dip back below the $30 mark, this FOMO, this fear of missing out reaction that we're currently seeing in the market will also work in the other direction. Currently, I think that people are buying in at these higher levels. I do not think that that's the wise thing to do here. I think that you might want to start to consider taking profits at these levels if you're long, and then possibly re-enter the position if we do see a move back into this 2985 area. So to the downside, if we were to look for possibilities, possible ideas, which would suggest that this bullish outlook and outcome is incorrect, the first movement to the downside that I would need to see in order to reverse this bias would come at the price low, which was generated during this would be the August 6th trading session. This is a price low that came in at 25.57. So right around 25.60. There's some psychological areas there right around 25, right around 25.50. So, this could be an important level to watch to the downside. I do think that we could start to see retracements all the way into this area. I think that would sort of be the ultimate downside that I would be watching for this stock. And if you do see prices move back into that area, I would definitely consider the stock to be a buy at that point. So here's the current market update for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.